Welcome everybody to the Shortcast. We've got a great Shortcast for you guys today, and it's going to ask you a question right now, it'll spark a lot of debate. I think it's a fascinating topic, but the topic is: do you believe in ghosts? Do you believe in ghosts? Do you believe in the paranormal in that sense? And I want to get deeper into this topic. It's not just a ghost. It's not just a one size fits all. As I like this topic. I have never witnessed an actual ghost, an apparition, if you will. I've had some experiences where I feel I have had a connection with a family member that has moved on, or just some interesting things that have happened to me that my mind tries to explain away, but I actually would love to dive deeper into that subject just on my own personal beliefs. But one of the things that I will say about this is I never discount anybody's thought process if they claim they have seen a ghost, if they've claimed they've witnessed an apparition, because I'm under the assumption that everybody is different. Everybody experiences things differently. I don't experience things the same way that everybody else does. I have not lived in their body. I've not been in their realm at that sense when they experience that. So how can I ever say that they didn't experience that? I'm fascinated by them, and I'm a big fan of all the paranormal shows. In my opinion, I don't believe things are paranormal, like haunted, scary type of things. I think that's a Hollywood representation of that they want it to be scary because it sells. It sells, I mean, big. Look at all the movies that are out about poltergeist and, just all the ghost movies that are out there, the hauntings, the Amityville Horror, things like that. They're made good because people are scared of them and they're fearful of them, and it's grown out of proportion. But ghost stories have been around forever. I mean, even in some of our most loved traditions, the movie, the movie, but comes after, but there's been some adaptations of the Christmas Story with the ghost of Christmas past, present, and future. And I think that's been taken, the Bill Murray one with Scrooge, and I think that's been so interesting of how there's so many different takes on that, and how some of them are really scary and spooky, and some of them are more jovial in that sense, and make you think. So, what are ghosts? I mean, is it just our imagination? Is it just dreams? Is it memories that are held in our head? Is it messages from something that we need to know or something that we need to do? There's a wide variety of what people think that ghosts are. Obviously, the first one is the ghosts that are the ectoplasmic energy that are coming, that are passed away people, the spirits of people that have passed away, that are coming back for some reason. Maybe they have unfinished business. Maybe they are visiting the loved ones to console them in that sense, comfort or guide them in that sense, or maybe they just haven't moved on. They haven't realized their past, which leads into another topic: is what do you believe happens after we die? If you're a very religious person, you believe we go to heaven. So how would we get lost in between, passing on and going to that amazing place in the sky in that sense? Or is there a purgatory, or do we have to go through the gates of hell, or what have you, where we would get lost? How would we get lost if there is a afterlife, a certain place that we go to? I'm thinking of the Beetlejuice movie now, of everybody sitting around in the waiting room there, trying to go on or to come back to life in that sense. And then it leads us into that reincarnation, which we're not going to get into much here, but is that reincarnation? Do we pass on and then we get reincarnated? So are we waiting at times to be reincarnated as a different being or a different person? Those are some things that can factor into that too. Another popular take is that ghosts are residual energy. So they are emotional energy stored at a location or a place that keeps a replaying of past events. So I know a lot of the haunted houses in that sense, or haunted buildings like the Old West, where people were gunned down in there, and that the wood and the quartz that are in the ground have been said to retain that memory. So it's like a replaying of it. It's like a VHS or a DVD where it keeps playing over and over, and people witness that because they're on the same plane as that. And I think that's another why everybody doesn't see it, is because we all have a different level of perception. Our mind has a different level of perception, and so while some people can see it and see it clearly and 100% it's the truth to them, another person standing right beside him might not see it and be like, "You're crazy. I don't see anything. I don't hear anything." So this is where I think we get off on that. People witness this and some people don't, because we're at different levels in our mind, our consciousness, and our vibration, if you will, to where it allows some people to see things and allows other people's to not. So then there's another concept of what ghosts are. They're just in our mind. They're because of stress, fatigue. Maybe we have overwhelming grief for somebody that's passed away. Maybe they're just suggestions because we know other people are seeing these things. Maybe that's why we're seeing ghosts in that sense. So that's another possibility as far as that goes. They could be interdimensional beings. That's another one that has been interesting, and I think this might, if you believe this way, that this might be where the more horror aspect of it comes in, because if they're interdimensional beings, they might not look like us. They might not be exactly like us. They might have grotesque features to us, and that's where the demons, the angry energies might come from, because they might be just misunderstood representations of beings that we have not come in contact with. So we see them as evil or demons or just something that we can't explain. They don't look like us, so we automatically go to they're bad, they're no good for us in that sense. They could be parallel realities crossing, and this is one of my favorites when I think about ghosts, because I do think there's several lives going on at the same time. I don't think it's linear, so that one stops, one goes. I think things are happening all the time, the way time is structured, and that sometimes just these lives or these paths cross, and it might seem like they're not totally in focus, they're not totally there. We're just getting a glimpse of it, like a deja vu kind of thing, to where you know something's happening, but this is actually a witnessing, a seeing it as they cross, and that's why we don't see them for very long, because as they cross, we just get that glimpse of them. Or have you ever had that moment where you thought you saw something out of the corner of your eye, and when you turn and look, there's nothing there? Those type of things, and I think that's that parallel realities crossing at times, and I think that could be a really big cause in my experience of the ghost dilemma here, as we're thinking about, do you believe in ghosts? And I think that it's not necessarily a ghost in the grand scheme of it that we think of it, but I think it is kind of a ghost in the shell, if you will, because it's there, but it's not there. It's not fully there, but it's there. So alternate timelines, things like that. Then lastly, it could just be energy we don't understand. It could be just something that we're not 100% with, because our minds won't let us perceive it. Again, as we're on different vibrations, there's all kinds of different people out there. There's people that claim they can communicate, people that can see things in their mind, people that can draw things out that they've never seen before, and they come true. So our minds are amazing things. So I think a lot of it stems from our brain, our mind, and how each one of them are different, and how we use so very little of our minds in everyday waking experience, that if some other people can tap into a deeper aspect of their mind, I think that could be why they are seeing energy beings, people that have passed. Our minds could be creating these ghosts of people we miss. in that sense, because we really missed them. We really had a connection with them, whether it be good or bad. If you had somebody that you really love, that a family member that passed you really love, you might have a ghostly experience of them from your mind in that sense. Also, somebody that you've had a traumatic experience with also could cause that type of reaction from our mind. So that's another aspect that it could be. Haunted locations with negative energy. I know if you watch the ghost shows, you watch things, they're always going someplace different. They're always going to sanatoriums, hospitals, battlefields, places like that where there was a lot of death and a lot of bad things happened. So in that case, is that residual energy where people have passed there and it's replaying, or that their souls are stuck there, their energy stuck there, for whatever reason that you believe. I think this is a fascinating topic. And ghost hunting is so popular now. I mean, you can't, you flip on the TV and there's show after show after show of ghost hunting. And I think it's really amazing that the technology that they're trying to use now to capture some of this thing, because we all want to know. We all are fascinated with the ghost experience and wanting to know what happens after we pass. We want some comfort. We want some knowledge. Do we go someplace different? Are we here, but just in a different parallel reality to where we can't interact with each other? It's a fascinating topic that I think we'll never really have 100% answer on. Can we be able to talk to there's psychic mediums out there that can claim they can talk to the people that have deceased, that have passed. And I think that's fascinating. And I've been to John Edwards showing, and I've seen the people that actually experienced that. So it's fascinating. All of it is fascinating. Do you believe in ghosts? So if you're asking me, as we're wrapping up here, if you're asking me if I believe in ghosts, I'm going to say yes. There is some form of ghost out there. There is some form of energy, because I believe we're all energy. And what happens after that energy, after we pass, whether you believe we go to heaven, whether you believe we live on existentially in this world that we live in, whether you feel like it's a residual, whatever, I do say there are ghosts. There's way too many people that have had experiences that I can't explain away. And that when you see them and you talk to them, they have had that experience. So yes, for my take, there are ghosts. They are living around us right now. Is anything happening here? But my take is it's not evil in that sense. It's not like how the horror movies present it. Might be unexplained, might be something that is fearful for us because we are fearful of things that are unknown. But I don't think there's evil spirits coming back to get us in that sense. I think it's misunderstood if that is the experience that you've had, that it's evil, that it's coming after you in that sense. I think maybe it's more of a misunderstanding. But tell me what you think. I'd love to hear the comments in the notes here on the podcast. Do you believe in ghosts? Have you had a ghost experience? I'd love to hear from people that have had ghost experience, because I unfortunately have had things that have happened that I believe are ghostly, but I've never seen an apparition. I've never experienced that full ghostly experience. So I'm curious for those that have. I'd love to talk to them and have that conversation with them about what that really was. And maybe we can even get somebody on the Shortcast here that has had an experience, and we can talk about that. And I'd love to do that. So if you're interested in that, put your information down in the notes. As always, we're wrapping up here. Subscribe to the podcast. Tell everybody you know to subscribe to the podcast. We want to make this big. We want to reach as many people as we want. We want to make peace with life. And part of that is, if we have to do it with ghosts, we have to do it with ghosts. We have to do it with interdimensional beings. We'll do it with interdimensional meanings. We can all live in peace together. So get the book, Make Peace with Life, on Amazon. Get your shirt, because it'll make you feel good, because it has its energy all in itself. It's like a ghost wrapped around you right now. So get the shirt, get the book, have some fun, and make peace with life. I always go the wrong way. All right, I will see you next time on the next Shortcast. You guys let me know what you think about the ghost.